speak about Ambedkar and what kind of a relationship they had?
Bhagwan Das ji was born in Himachal Pradesh. He was actually in the Air Force also. He went to Burma. And when he came to Delhi, like he was very good in English. His English was excellent, actually, among the very few. If you see that generation, like it looks like it always looked like an English person, when he used to speak the accent. Then he came in touch with Dr. Ambedkar. His father had actually known, heard about Dr. Ambedkar, and once Dr. Ambedkar had visited Shimla, then he went to meet him, and they would call him Ummidkar. Always he would refer this thing. His father would call Dr. Ambedkar as Ummidkar, and person who bring hope. Ummid means hope. The person who brings hope to us. So then he was in Delhi. Then I think he started working there. He would collect document because he was very good in documentation, and he would do typing and all those kind of things. So he would go to Baba Sahib Ambedkar and do all these kind of assistance for him, whatever kind of research he needed. So that way he was like that. And his biggest contribution is actually, which not many people know, or not many people acknowledge, but should acknowledge, is that when after the passing away of Baba Sahib Ambedkar, it was he who brought 6 volumes of Thus Spake Ambedkar, Dr. Ambedkar's writing. He collected them, combined them, and brought it in volumes. Much before the Maharashtra government could do in 1980s, after a lot of pressure, it was people like Bhagwan Das and L.R. Bali, the Bhim Patrika publication, who actually contributed, who did a lot of work. And I think that is the biggest happening in Uttar Pradesh is this. Look, as I said, it became bigger because of the UPs. I can tell you this thing. Nowhere else is that much of a fight as it is happening in UP. And because elsewhere, like Punjab, everybody knows that there have been a case and people are fighting. So it's not that much, people have already know the position. But it's because of the UP politics, it became more vicious actually. Because, most of the online trolls, online army actually, are either the supporters of the BSP or organized parties like even RPI or others. So in Maharashtra, the Prakash Ambedkar, and so what is happening is this one. In the last general election, you see the whole Samvidhan thing, the constitution thing, got Congress and Samajwadi Party, they got 33 or whatever seats they got. So it is assumed that a number of Dalit votes went to Samajwadi Party and Congress. Now I can tell you this thing, this is very generalization also. And this generalization people don't understand that UP power politics among Dalits is between the 2 major communities. One is the Chamars or Jatos and the other is Pasis. The Pasis are quite powerful because they may be numerically lesser, but they have powerful pockets. So sometimes their numbers is very high. And this is used by the other political parties. Samajwadi Party leaders, even the Ayodhya leader, this Ayodhya Prasad, who won from Ayodhya, is actually a Pasi. So they are like in Gorakhpur and all these regions, they are quite well organized, quite also like they were part of BSP once upon a time when Kanchiramji was made. He made many of these leaders there because that time BSP had leaders from different jatis, different that. But lately the focus has been attract the upper caste or upper OBC, some of them, some upper Muslims. That has not gone well with many of these communities. So every community actually looked for their own things. So Pasis mostly gone with Samajwadi Party most of the time along these years. Because actually politicians are much more knowledgeable in social engineering than the social scientists actually, because they know which caste is where, which is number of games and all this kind of thing. So what is happening is this: BSP had lost in narratives in the last election. They had a very reasonable vote percentage still, about 20 or something like this. But this reduced last time because of it was nowhere, like there were two blocks, the India blocks and the thing. So the party had lost this space because it was seen that it's not fighting, and the main concern was basically the constitution. Then again, this rise of Chandrasekhar. So Chandrasekhar, was concentrating on one constituency in Western Uttar Pradesh, that is Nagina. And he was not really eyeing for the rest of the state that point of time. So when he won the election, after the election, if you see him, he is just, speaking loud, and some of the people are making him larger than life. He is going everywhere. So obviously, if you see, Chandrasekhar and Mayavati caste-wise have the same caste, and they hail from the same Western Uttar Pradesh. So if Chandrasekhar is going to attract the voters, who are those voters? Which is the constituency? It will be the same constituency. So both Chandrasekhar and Mayavati may not attract the other voters that way. So it is because the focus is that if the one community come in my party, as the BSP had that leverage earlier, that if the this 21% or 16%, whatever the percentage of the Chamars in Uttar Pradesh is, if they are solidly behind the party, then the party can, there are always the communities which are fence sitters, or which are like, if you give ticket to other communities, they will come to you. So if the parties, so they're planning as per the next state assembly elections, because on its own the party may not become, come back to power. So it can only come back to power if either the BJP or the Congress or Samajwadi support them. Obviously, Samajwadi party will never support it unless there is a crisis that they are unable to do. So they know it very well. So this all is a political positioning as per the thing, because the party was not acting. So the party wanted to give a message to the core constituency. Yes, it is very much in the reckoning. And obviously, when the question of political leadership will come, I think BSP has the is not the Chandrasekhar. Chandrasekhar can win his own constituency or maybe a few other pockets. But BSP has a larger network in the state. But how much the other communities will give it once the election comes, or again, there will be two major parties, major alliances, where will the other voters come to BSP, that will be the other person. That is the basic thing. Now in Bihar also, Chirag Paswan has the same thing, because Chirag Paswan belong to the Dushat community, the Paswans, and they are the dominating community in Bihar. The other communities are the Mahadalit, which Nitish Kumar created. And that's why the Mushars and Domes and others communities are seeking their power. In fact, Jitan Ram Maji has very categorically said that we want categorization and we would till and fight for it. So in Bihar, the situation is the same. And the third is Maharashtra. Maharashtra is also, in the elections, Vanchit Bahujan Aghadi of Prakash Ambedkar have not been able to do anything. Though he tried to give a big, impression because his name has Ambedkar behind. So, but he doesn't get the support even of the Mahar community that much. So again, through reservation, they want to get the main community. And that is the reason why they are not even saying two sentences about the others. Look, I am ready, we would fight for you also. You are our brothers. We will take you. That they're not interested. Because the main worry is that I should have my community first. Others will, and then many of them think that, if I have my community, like particularly in UP, then they will say, oh, then Sarvajan. So you have the Brahmins who are ready for such alliance, or the upper caste or any other like community. The politicians are always expert, like they always calculate. So if they see that, the Chamar voters coming back to BSP, then they will, calculate and, do accordingly. So that's Maharashtra. Punjab, things are very clear. Uh, Haryana, Punjab, everywhere. The Valmikis are quite strong in Punjab and also in Delhi. They have been like organizing meetings, meeting people. I think in Delhi also the Valmiki community is not less than 25% of the total Dalit community. And in Punjab and Haryana, Punjab, so they are more than 41%. I think the single largest or equally with the Ravidasis. So that we have to see that way, that sometimes the impression is being given that they are merely 2% of the community. Most of the people who are writing from UP handles of BSP, they are saying that Valmiki are just 2%, give them 2%, just throw them away like this kind of attitude. So they are not 2% everywhere. They are 20, they are 40% also, they are 20% also. So this has to be seen that the community has a substantial number in different states. And also like, I personally feel that it is not good to say like, the state has a duty towards the communities, towards the people to bring them up. And I think somewhere the Dalit Bahujan parties have failed in reaching out the most marginalized. I would say this thing very categorically, and not just the political parties, also the intellectuals. How many intellectuals have written actually beyond their jatis? How many intellectuals have written beyond their jatis? They either write their own stories or they will never have the time to write the story of the Mushars or the Valmikis or the Domes, because it is the crisis. I always tell people, reach beyond your communities, go beyond that. Most of these stories are their own expression. Fine, it's nobody is denying that thing. But then now, if you are 40 years, 30 years in the structure, you're writing 30 years, 40 years. How many times these people have written about others, about their rights? And if they are really dedicated to human rights and values of equality, then I think in that term, nobody can deny this fact that these communities who are left behind should be given opportunity, should be given space in the political structure, in the administrative structure. And I can tell you, we are talking about that, there are not many educated people and all this kind of a nonsense. I want to ask, how many people were given tickets by these parties? How many people, how many domes, how many Valmikis were given tickets in the assembly, in even Jila Parishad, in how many ministers they made? They are so many years, they become chief minister, the party, how many of the president of the party in the district level, state level, or in a village level are from other communities like Musars, Valmikis, Domes. I don't find anywhere else. Unfortunately, all political parties are becoming the jati-centric, and they may attract other, but the party network is basically revolve around the jati, the party structure. At the government structure, if you are in power, you can give ticket, like make ministers, but mostly party is dominated. Akhilesh Yadav this time actually gave ticket to the other communities. That's why he was able to get more. And this people are not able to understand. Even in Bihar, why Tejasvi Yadav failed? Because it's concentration more Yadavs. They never tried to reach others, the Mahadalit and all this thing. That's the crisis. And Akhilesh understood it and he went and he reached. So that is where the result is. So movement is going on. I've seen people are now even active on social media, and they have now bloggers, there are people. I wish, the Ambedkarite, I've met many of them. They are now affirming to me that they will speak. Some of them have spoken, some of them are interviewed from other communities, and they are speaking for it. And that is what I want to say. Frankly speaking, it has no impact. It has more impact on social media because the narrative builders are sitting there, and they will put the videos and photos of some railway station or some main platform. The thing is that it has very clearly polarized. So it's very clear that the majority, the dominant communities are for against this, And the marginalized, like Valmiki, Dom, Mushers, Mang, Madigas, all those communities are for it. So you see, yesterday I got a video from Rajasthan now because a massive march by the Bhils and the Valmikis there in support of the categorization. See, in Rajasthan, like the Meenas are opposing it because they are the ST. While the ST issue was not there, but still there are communities which will seek their, everywhere, the layers will come out. It cannot happen, that, you have made a law in 1917 or 1945 and that goes like that. There are always communities who will be left behind and who will seek the representation. So that way, actually, the Bandh has not evoked much. Obviously, people are interpreting it according to their own thing. But mobilization has already happened as per the caste lines. So in UP, the BSP is growing. So who is growing more, whether BSP or Chandrasekhar, it will be seen in the coming days. But yes, they have ignited the community which was feeling quite depressed after the election results. So that way, it was good for party to say that it exists and it is working. But at the same point of time, the Valmikis are feeling that this Bharat Bandh was against them. It is a feeling. And the community is saying that, we are feeling like, that how maltreated we have been, how people are abusing them, how people never made any attempt to reach them out. So this is a very sad part. I would always say that, it is the duty of the bigger community to reach out. Those who are bigger, who are powerful, who are better placed. We cannot say they are marginalized because they have quite substantial representation politically. These communities, the marginalized communities like Valmikis, Doms, Mushers, Kols, they don't even have political representation. So at least, nobody can deny this fact that, the 17% reservation has given strength to certain communities. And it is time for, at least have some heart and give some 5% thing. It would have made a huge, powerful Dalit, unity. Because unity cannot come without participation, we all say. Without participation, representation. You can't call, we all are brothers and sisters, but we won't allow you to get a job.
So in Punjab, how was fight? Is there a big protest against the sub-classification there?
See, that Punjab, the sub-classification is being opposed by basically the Ravidasis. But the fact is that they also know that they are the equal numbers. And it's not that, bad mouth, because they're all doing all the courts and everything. But Punjab political parties support very categorically the classification.